let's carry on. Yeah, so we're in the defendant's lobby. It is, I believe, day number 2. Yay for having time with her. I know, I can't wait. God, it's been rough this year. A whole year away from your wife after you just married her is... Yeah, I can't put words to it. It's not great. But we're getting closer to living together, so that's a good thing. Thank you very much. Yes, the anniversary is not while May, but we're going to get together in June because it was easier for flights and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so let me just, before we get started, remind ourselves what kind of stuff we have. Court record-wise, we have Goodman's ID. We know that this was used to get into the evidence room at the police HQ. We know that the evidence locker was open. There was a broken vase in there with blood all over it and bits missing, but that might have been its original, you know, shape, because that could have just been evidence from his previous trial. We know that Edgeworth received this trophy. Apparently it's been broken all along, but I don't know if that's going to be relevant. This is Edgeworth's knife that was in the victim. I think what they saw was the chief prosecutor pulling the knife out of the victim after he arrived, and then she opened the trunk to go get evidence, and saw a dead body instead, because she had gloves on, hence premeditation. These are all the thoughts I've been having. I don't know how the hell the Blue Badger has anything at all to do with this, but it was allegedly dancing in the evidence room at the time of the murder at the PD, which the break might indicate something. I don't know. You're playing Ace Attorney with you right now. Awesome. Excellent. Goodman's autopsy said he died within 4 to 5 p.m. I'm still sticking to this. I know that the time of death was relevant. We know that this, when looked upside down, was SL6, which is a case number, from the 12th of the 2nd, 12th of February. So that's like 2 years ago previously, though. Lana tried to call Emma and said something about muffler. We know there was something in the stuffed in the muffler of the car. It was her scarf with this, the switchblade knife that had a broken piece missing off of it, but the blood is very old. So this could be evidence from the SL9 case, not SL6, SL9. The victim's shoe shows that there was traces of blood. There was a huge amount of it on the underside, but only fragments of blood were seen at the crime scene where the car was parked, and not anywhere else. But there was a huge pool of blood that had been cleaned up in the evidence room. It had been cleaned up. That's interesting. So there is a cover-up going on here. And we think it's got something to do with the SL9 case, which they got a guilty verdict for, if I remember correctly, but it was all done with fabricated evidence or something. They got creative. So yeah, we know that Edgeworth went into the evidence room at 4:40, and then Bruce Goodman entered at 5:15, but we know it could 5:14. It couldn't have been him, however, because he was in the trunk of Edgeworth's car, and they arrived here at 12 minutes past 5. And it's half an hour away from the attorney's the district attorney building, the prosecutor's building, to the police station. So somebody else took his ID, but the ID was found back at the crime scene later, which is interesting. We don't know who did it, but we think it might be Marshall. He could have been involved. We have fingerprint testing kits, which we've used as well. And we also matched up fingerprints. God, what did we match them to? I can't remember. The last locker. One of them had Gumshoe's fingerprints on, but of course it was his locker. But it would do, and it was out of pattern with where the murderer would have put their fingers. The other one, however, did we get nothing from it, and it was like the killer used gloves, therefore? Is that what we got? Don't remember. Little things that I can't quite remember what happened. We know that this screwdriver was also brought back to his office at Gant's request. And it's also from an AI-16 case, whatever the hell that is. And that's from SL9. Okay. Slowly getting my brain back into gear. Yeah, there we go. The only assigned detective prints can unlock it. The indicator lamp. It's on. There's the broken vase, which was a kind of an unstable vase. Which means it probably doesn't actually stand up like that. Oh, that's right. We did find Marshall's prints. They were Marshall's prints on that last locker. Alright. Kind of got it all back in my head now. So, what do we think, Mr. Wright? I think the prosecution is as confused as we are. After all, the victim was murdered in 2 different places at the same time, which means one of them's a lie. And a different suspect was arrested at each of the crime scenes. Yes, that's right, they arrested Meekins. Mr. I'm Meekins, sir! Sam! Hi, dude, how's it going? Still coronavirus free, I hope. Lana! Good morning, Mr. Wright. I apologise for yesterday. I was indisposed. I hope they didn't hold you too long for questioning. We just finished, actually. I'm used to all-nighters, though. So, how'd it go? It is as Mr. Wright suspects. The police are clueless. I figured as much, so I struck a plea bargain. What? Shouldn't you have spoke to your lawyer first? A plea bargain? What do you mean by that? We agreed that if I told them the truth behind the simultaneous murder, they wouldn't seek capital punishment. That's what I mean. But Lana, don't tell me you... Much to my regret, I am as much in the dark about this as they are. Ms. Skye, We found trace evidence of a certain person in the police department's evidence room. They belonged to Officer Jake Marshall. What kind of trace evidence? A blood-stained fingerprint, to be exact. Yes, but you are sick again? Oh no! I hope you feel better soon, dude. I hope it's just a quick bug that goes this afternoon. That's the trump card I have up my sleeve today. You do understand what this means, don't you? In order to defend my sister, you're going to accuse Mr. Marshall? We have to play the cards we're dealt. Isn't that right, Miss Skye? Do what you have to do, Mr. Wright. So she's just going to back out on her plea bargain now. Usually if you do a plea bargain, you come to court the next day and say, I'm guilty, and then explain everything. So that's not going to fly. Body needs to learn to be sick Monday to Friday. Yes, this is a skill that must be trained into it. Court is now in session for the trial of Ms. Lana Skye. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is confused. I'm afraid you have to clarify. It takes 30 minutes by car to reach the police department from the prosecutor's office. Whoa, okay, Edgeworth, you're skipping ahead, like, way faster here. Either that or I just stroked out. What time is it? Nope, okay. I was just kind of concerned that I blacked out for a minute. Yet the victim, Bruce Goodman, was slain in both places at the same time. That's not physically possible, is it? What's more, I hear the victim from the evidence room just disappeared. He didn't. He's in the trunk of Edgeworth's car, duh. Yes, and the body eventually reappeared in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. Wow, this is one messed up trial. This slid so far down your chair you're stuck. The cat has you pinned down? Yes, you belong to the cat now. Enjoy it, embrace it, this is your life. One of my duties as prosecutor is to present impartial evidence. Today I will present evidence relating to the murder at the police department. So doing, I believe the way in which we should proceed will reveal itself. Now that's what Mr. Edgeworth... Oh, that's what sets Mr. Edgeworth apart. He sounds so on top of things, even though he doesn't know what he's doing, what's going on himself. And that's supposed to be an admirable trait. Very well, let the trial resume. On the day of the crime, what actually transpired at the police department? Mr. Edgeworth, you may call your first witness of the day to the stand. For its first witness, the prosecution calls the suspect of the murder that occurred at the police department. Suspect? You mean the so-called murderer? Yeah, we need to pick apart that Meekins has nothing to do with this. Things are getting wild from the get-go. Wild, wild west. Oh yeah, there he is. Will the witness please state his name and occupation? Get ready for it. Yes, sir. I'm Officer Mike Meekins, sir. My occupation is... that would be murderer, sir. God. So you're telling us you're a professional killer? Sir, it was me, sir. I'm the one who did it. I'll never kill anyone again, sir. You've got to believe me, sir. Actually, what we'd like to hear from you is, sir, I'm what you would call part of the younger generation, sir. These damn millennials coming in here and killing people all day. A person whose actions adults can't possibly comprehend. Please, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Help me, sir. Oh god, the sirs are getting infectious. Officer Meekins. Yes, sir. Give us your report of the crime. Consider that an order. Yes, sir, as you wish, sir. After all, I'm part of the generation that must be told what to do, sir. Damn. You can't fault him for his lack of enthusiasm. Crime report, sir. Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed to the room. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. Yeah, he thinks he blacked out, if I remember correctly. He thinks he actually did it. But he didn't know the detective. He didn't know this Detective Goodman. He'd never met him, and then when he asked for his card, he attacked him. Rather than show his card. He used it to get in, so he had it, but his face would have been different. I was suddenly attacked. I fought for my life, then I did it. After that I passed out, until another officer smacked me awake. So the victim, Detective Goodman, attacked you. Do unto others before they do unto you. That's the Meekins family motto, sir. See, then you fainted, and a colleague helped you regain consciousness. Yes, sir. He knocked me upside the head, sir. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. What I need here is more info to work with. Question everything. It's not my normal duty. I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. Yeah, who assigned him, I wonder? Mr. Meekins, you work with the General Affairs Department, do you not? Yes, sir. I'm in charge of hiring new recruits, sir. Right, now there's a scary thought. Evidence transfer was taking place on the day of the crime, which means many officers were given special tasks not ordinarily performed. I was in charge of guarding the Blue Badger, sir. The Blue Badger? Yes, sir. The lovely police mascot created by Chief of Detectives, sir. Prepare for nightmares. I was ensured it wasn't broken during the transferal process. That was my sole mission for the day, sir. Shows how valuable he is to the police force, isn't he? Best part of playing the DS version is that you can literally scream, "Hold it!" and objection into the mic. Really? Oh god, why didn't they put that in for things like this? Hi, Jolly the Octopus, how are you? I see, sounds like a very important mission. After the award ceremony finished that day, there were so many people running around that I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. Ah, so that's why you went to the evidence room. Tell us, what did you see when you got there? I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed to the room. Right, question that. In order to enter the evidence room, you need an ID card, am I correct? Precisely, sir. I have one right around my neck. So then, your ID number should be listed on here, right? Yeah, he would be the next one that went in immediately afterwards. There it is, I found it! This is the one right here. Could you please read us the number? Yes, sir. It's 4989596. That's my number, sir. C. Huh. But number 4989596 entered twice. The first time would have been when he put the Blue Badger in the evidence room, I bet. And then he had to go stand around outside. Please explain, witness. No real mystery, sir. First time is when I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room, and the second time is when I went to go in after him, well, go get him after everything settled down. But he said he went in there because he spotted a suspicious man. I suppose he was already on his way to go get the Blue Badger. I see. But that was during that second time when... Yes, sir, that's when I spotted the man on the security screen. Data added to the ID card record. Cool. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. Just make sure we haven't skipped anything else. Sometimes it skips over stuff. Nope, okay. You were trained to kill people? So you were attacked. Can you please tell us exactly what happened to you? It was a knife, sir. A knife! Detective Goodman pulled a knife on you? What happened then? Well, with me charging on him like that, he looked as surprised as I was. You weren't exactly the kind of person someone would want to run into. So intense. This guy actually, if anybody's watched the anime Lupin the Third, his face looks very similar to the detective that's chasing after Lupin. If you take the uniform away and put him in a trench coat like Gumshoe, and that face, it's him. That's when I reacted, sir. I swung my arms like an octopus. A jolly octopus? And struggling to detain him. That's how I got this gash on my head. On my hand, sorry. Right, okay. That's how he says he got hurt then. Didn't we determine he already got hurt some other way? Didn't we say that he burned his hand? He told us, I'm sure he did, in the detention center when we spoke to him the previous day. He said something like, you know, the secure. Oh no, I think we guessed that was it. No, we were talking about the security systems on the evidence lockers, that they're supposed to electrocute people, and then that would be why his hand hurt. But then apparently that was complete rubbish. That's not how it works. Never mind. Maybe if you'd just keep your cool, your hand wouldn't be... When I saw the blood trickling down my arm, I panicked. I grabbed the man by his collar. I fought for my life, and then I did it. Be more specific. What exactly do you mean when you say you did it? I know I don't look the type, but I'm really into kung fu films, sir. Oh, well then. He watched The Matrix, and now he knows kung fu. The man let his guard down for just an instant, so I snatched his knife from him. You took his knife. Oh, this is where we're going to trip him up. I spun him around and performed a disarming maneuver. I made sure to close my eyes like a man. Okay, I see. He must have been desperate. Next thing I knew, his white coat was drenched in the sea of blood, of my blood, and then, the next thing I knew, yes, he punched me right in my face, sir. So that's when you passed out. So, he thinks because the guy's coat was covered in his blood, that means that he killed the other guy. Yeah, that's exactly how it works. That is how Moida works. After that, you passed out until another officer smacked you awake. About what time did you regain consciousness? No offense, sir, but how am I supposed to know that? I was unconscious. Oh, right. Get ready for a treat. Oh dear. According to the report from the officer that woke up the witness was about 5:30. He hit me right in the head, too. I woke up crying, tears of pain. That's nice. I mean, it's nice that you recovered, that is. Yes, you were in pain? Tell me about it. When I came around, though, I made sure to finish my mission, sir. Oh yeah, you had to put the Blue Badger out first. Your mission? Yes, sir, the Blue Badger, sir. I returned him to the entrance before things got out of hand. Well, we can all rest easy now. I believe we now have a fairly accurate picture of what happened. Yes, Your Honor. Only one thing remains unclear. Why was the man this officer murdered, or was this man really the victim? He didn't even murder anybody. The guy just got away. I already know where this is leading. We just have to figure out how the game lets us get there. Yes, Officer Meekins? With regard to that, sir, take a look at this. It was sent to my jail cell. Yeah, they do that. You know, when you're accused of murder, you get thrown in jail, and then they send you critical evidence proving your guilt so that you can do what exactly? Name a colour, any colour. Purple. Chief Gant delivered it to me. Delivered it to me just this morning, sir. The chief delivered it? What is that? A videotape? Yes, sir. That's absolutely right, sir. Videotape, sir. It contains footage from the security camera in the evidence room. What? But I specifically asked if there was such tape and was told it had been mistakenly erased. That's quite a mistake. I just do what I'm told, sir. It's the only thing I'm really good at. Apparently that and murdering people with kung fu. Looks like a communication within the police department was as good as ever. Pretty much. Well then, let's have a look. Show us the video of you murdering the victim. Oh, please stop using that word murder, sir. It scares me. Okay, you killed him in self-defense. A video of a real murder, just what are we getting ourselves into? Oh god, there it is. Like Five Nights at Freddy's all of a sudden. That's just going to be in the way, isn't it? Interestingly, it was already broken. That's supposed to be Goodman. There he is opening that safe. Something dropped out. That might have been the glove. And here comes Meekins. How is your treat? This is scary. He's knocked out, but where did the guy go? Also, why is this security camera down at, like, chest level? There it is. You guys see that? Saw that, right? Yes. Well, I believe we're all thinking the same thing. How can we deal with these unsettling feelings stirring within us? What the hell was that wriggling piece of plywood? Sir, that's the pride and joy of the entire Criminal Affairs Department, sir. So what? So the last locker, I wonder if we can rewatch it. Maybe we can. No, we can't yet. We might be able to later. All the time the camera was panning all the way left to right. When it was all the way over to the left, that's where the entrance to the evidence room is, where they all came in. The first locker on the top row, the leftmost locker, when we went there on the previous day to this, there was a little piece of cloth hanging out, like a little triangle of cloth, as though the evidence locker had been opened. Something fell out partially, and then they closed it without pushing it all the way back in. That wasn't there while the camera was panning around. Until the very end, when it went all the way to the right, we saw Meekins unconscious. Nobody walked past the camera because they probably went down on the ground and crawled under it while it was panning over. And then when it came back left, that piece of cotton, that cloth, was hanging out of that locker. Somebody opened that locker while the camera was looking the other way and came back, which means the so-called victim, you would assume he's lying dead on the floor and that's why we can't see him. But what he maybe did was just knock this guy out, went down, crawled out of the way, which is kind of weird because why would they even bother doing that? Come to think, why would they avoid the cameras going out? It's very strange. I don't understand why they did it, but that's what's happened. Is the victim then left out of sight of the camera, opened up that locker, either put something in or took something out, and then closed it in a hurry and left before the camera came back. That's what we saw. Yeah, there we go. Big brain moments are happening already. This is what happens at the beginning of a stream. I'm clever. I'm going to get dumb towards the end. It's the Blue Badger, sir. Why am I not surprised this isn't going smoothly? Aha! Maybe we can rewatch it. Yes, well, anyway, let me see. Can I rewatch this? Maybe we can. Thank you as well, Jolly the Octopus, for that new follow. Welcome to the channel. I'm glad you're enjoying the show. There you go, you see? Keep an eye on the top left locker as it pans over to the left. It'll come all the way back. This is supposedly Detective Goodman, but we don't see his face. This is someone dressed like him using his ID. Top left locker, nothing hanging out. And then when this guy opens it, something falls out. That's the glove we found. We have that in our evidence as well. That's also from the same case that the knife came from. Here he comes again. Nothing there. Top left locker still doesn't have the cotton hanging out of it. Then he spins around and slashes at the guy with a knife that doesn't look like the murder knife. It's like a Bowie knife. We don't see the murder happening. Still no cloth. And then from here, the victim probably went, well, the guy dressed as Goodman probably went underneath the camera. And then he opened the other locker, put something in or took it out, slammed it shut, and there it is. And that's the locker we found Marshall's fingerprints on. Bloody fingerprints, no less. Yeah. I also think that whatever Meekins was hit with, it might have been this vase. I think the vase was partially broken already, because that's evidence. The blood on it's old, if I remember correctly. Hey, Wasabi Tonic, how's it going, buddy? What's good today? Loving this game. Played Monster Hunter World yesterday. That was a lot of fun. We're going to be doing that regularly now. How are you today? Anyway, what did you play today? And everybody go follow Wasabi Tonic. He's a great streamer. You'll really enjoy his shows. They're so much fun. Alright, so they're hard to make out, but there are red stains. Looks like blood. Do you think Detective Goodman's blood somehow got on this when he was stabbed? Not likely. This blood looks like it's been here for months, maybe longer. So this is old blood from the previous trial, like the previous case. It is. It's a lot of fun. Very, you know, to start with, when you're getting started and going through all the tutorial stuff, and every time you go somewhere new, it's like, here's another tutorial. Ooh, your head starts to fill up. Anyway, let's carry on with this. So yes, well, anyway, this tape seems to prove that the witness did indeed encounter someone. Thank you, Judge, for being smart enough to not just jump to conclusions. In the evidence room, and some sort of activity took place. Your Honour, instead of relying on clearly incomplete footage, the witness testimony will suffice. Is that all right with you, Mr. Officer Meekins? Yes, sir. As you wish, sir. Compared to the old one, it's mind-blowing. Yes, absolutely. There's so much stuff to do. Okay, so let's talk to about the mystery man. His face can't be seen clearly in that video, but there is no question the other person was Detective Goodman, sir. How does he know that? He told us he'd never seen him before and didn't recognize him. I mean, he opened the locker, which required Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do. That is interesting, actually, yes. But was it always Goodman's locker? The locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir. So it must be him. No one else could have unlocked it. This is something I have not yet got a solution for. Oh, there's loads of contradictions here. They chopped his finger off. We haven't actually been told whether or not the body was whole.